Hey there, powerful soul. We are going to have a conversation about elevating your standards inside of your relationship and why what you have tried so far has not worked, why your beloved has not changed, and what you get to do instead to experience a transformation inside of your relationship. So I'm going to ask that if you are watching the replay, if you will give me a moment and be patient as I am allowing this platform to notify the individuals who were intending to be here live to join me. And if you are watching the replay and you prefer to watch this over on YouTube, because there are more options for speed level and how you can listen if you are not a native English speaker and there are other languages that you speak and you prefer to change the caption to a different language, YouTube has those options. And so if you want to watch the replay over there, I'm going to do my best to download this replay and upload it on there after this is complete. And so all you have to do is type replay in the comments, and then I will know to send you the replay to the YouTube version. Hey there, how are you, my dear? Thank you for being here. So if at any time as we're having this beautiful conversation, you hear me share something that you feel is important for a fellow high-performing woman leader of faith in your life, in your community, that you know would find value, if you want to tag them or share this with them, I would truly, truly appreciate that, because sharing is caring. I'm going to take a sip of my tea. I'll explain what this is here in a moment as well. For those who are new to me, you've never encountered me, we've never had a formal introduction, welcome to my corner here on these internet streets. My name is Cassandra Austin McDonald, and I'm excited to have this conversation with you. And I've been doing transformational work for quite some time. I started this journey in my own coaching practice. I also had a former career doing positive behavior change and transformational work, but we'll talk about that another day. But I initially started a decade ago as a self-love and relationship coach, and then eventually high-performing women leaders of faith started coming to me about their leadership and how they were showing up inside of their businesses and their careers and having the pressure and the responsibility of holding multiple roles. And so I am the founder of The Supernatural Woman. And it's about she who not only has it all, but we don't hold it all alone. And there are three main roles that I support women with inside of that framework, which is the woman, the lover, and the leader. And so I'm going to take a moment to share more about a live container that I have coming up that you may find after hearing this conversation we're going to have together about relationships, that you want to come and hear more about not just the lover, but you want to hear more about the woman, and you want to also hear more about the leader. And it's pretty accessible pricing, so that if you want to just come and fill me out for who I am, what my work is about, if you feel resonance with me on a deeper level to go into a deeper container with me, beyond that, this is a really great opportunity to do that. And so this particular container that I'm referencing is Supernatural Standards. It is a 3-day identity immersion for women leaders of faith, where I'm going to show you how to get everything else that you want in life, love, leadership, and beyond without trying so darn hard to control everything. On day 1, we are going to dive deep into the woman. I'm going to show you how the standard that you're holding is actually not the highest standard that you could be holding inside of your womanhood. On day 2, we're going to go over the lover, and I'm going to show you the same. And we're going to have a deeper conversation here in this live stream, where I'm going to show you how the standard you've been holding as a lover is actually not the highest standard you could be holding as a lover in your relationships, and that there is an even higher standard where you can experience more of that playfulness and pleasure and connection and intimacy that you crave. And then on day 3, we're going to go deep on the leader. And I'm going to show you again there how there are some power leaks where you're leaking your power. I'm going to show you and identify the supernatural shift that's going to support you to elevate your leadership so that you are experiencing more prosperity and impact inside of your leadership. And then there's a bonus day. I love adding bonuses. And on the bonus day, I am going to lead and guide you through a somatic experience. So you can experience one of the approaches that I bring inside of my work. And there is going to be an opportunity for one-on-one coaching with me inside of that day, which requires you to register for this. And then you will apply for that one-on-one coaching opportunity. And then there's also going to be a live case study with a client and a supernatural woman inner circle member participant so that you can see from someone else's lens what it's like for them to work with me inside of their womanhood, inside of their relationships, and inside of their leadership. And so it's a really great opportunity to also receive the transmission, not just from myself, but someone who has been working with me for a few years now, and the profound levels of transformation they have experienced. And so if you want more information, you can DM me, private message me, or if you know that you're in, this is a yes. We begin on March 31st. And I have a link inside of my bio. I believe it's the first link where you can go there and get yourself enrolled and registered so that you can join us. So let's begin with why we're really here. We're really here to talk about the lover and how maybe you've been having some thoughts, one foot in, one foot out, thinking about leaving, thinking about the grass is greener on the other side, possibly, and feeling that your beloved isn't changing despite all of your efforts and everything that you have been trying to transform your relationship. And there's a reason for that. That's what we're going to talk about today. So before we get into that, I want to take a moment to share about this beautiful cha. Gung Fu Cha is a sacred practice that I bring inside of my own practice and inside of my work. And this particular cha is called Hummingbird Nectar. It is a heart opener, and it comes from the land of Yunnan province in China. And it's a part of a rare collection from the late Master Wang, who is a part of the lineage that I've been trained under for Gung Fu Cha. And the year that this was harvested was a very special year for the Mr. and I, 2017, where he officially took me off the market. We had been dating for a couple years, few years before that, and he officially took me off the market that year. So it's a very special tea for a very special conversation. So we'll take a sip. My invitation for you is to listen with what I call the wise woman in you. We all have these different versions of ourselves. We all have these parts of ourselves that get activated for different reasons. But inside of my work, I talk about the wise woman role. And I invite you to bring that wise woman into your listening of this conversation, because sometimes when we're talking about a conversation that is sensitive to our heart and that is sensitive to our spirit, it can awaken things within us where it changes the way that we're listening and it changes the way that we are hearing the conversation. And so my invitation for you is to bring that wise woman on. Now, your logical linear mind might be asking, what does that mean? But your soul knows. There is an timeless aspect of yourself that knows exactly what I'm talking about, and that is who I'm speaking to in this conversation. And so when we look at the conversation around relationships and the things we do as women who value relationships, and we don't just value relationships, we value quality relationships. And I believe it was Tony Robbins that said that the quality of our relationships determines the quality of our life. And so relationships, I believe, is the cornerstone to our successes, to our fulfillment, to our self-actualization inside of all different areas of our lives. And when our relationships are not as solid as we know they can be, when our relationships feel as if there is something that's just not quite right, it does something to the feminine heart. And I remember when the mister and I were in a season in our marriage where our relationship wasn't feeling like it used to, and it wasn't feeling like I knew it was capable of being. And we started going around a new area that we had moved down in Central Florida and decided to go around looking for a home. And this was around the pandemic where the market was bananas. I mean, absolutely bananas, where we were looking at pre-lived homes, and the homes were having lines and lines and lines outside of them, with everybody moving to Florida because the market had shifted, where many people were now working online. They were moving down to Florida, and people were putting down payments or out bidding people in the housing market beyond the asking price. And so it was turning chaotic, and we shifted from looking for a pre-lived home to a new build. And it was never our intention to purchase a new build, but that was God's plan. I love how God's plans are better than our plans. And we found a few different properties and new build communities that we were interested in. And we were told that the waiting list was going to be 2 years before we would possibly even get our name called. And I went into my spiritual sacred space, as I tend to do when I know that God has something for me. And I told the mister that we are going to co-create this. We are going to manifest this. We are not going to listen to the news of these people with their logical, linear news. We're going to go to the I am that I am. And we are going to manifest this into our lives. And we got a call, not 2 years later, 2 weeks later, from 2 different builders to come select the model and the blueprint of the home that we would like to have built. And it was such an exciting time. And we found the build model that we wanted, and we put the earnest deposit down. And in that moment, I knew that we could move in together. Have you ever made a decision with your beloved that you thought would magically fix the leaks and the cracks inside of your marriage, inside of your relationship, that neither of you wanted to admit out loud? That this is going to be the thing that fixes us. This is going to be the thing that changes us. This is going to be the thing that shifts us inside the way that we are connecting and relating with each other. Have you ever been in a season like that, or in an experience like that? Hey there, thank you for joining. And during this time, you're noticing that the way that you and your beloved are interacting with each other is not to your highest, it's not to your best. You may notice that you've been snapping at each other for the smallest things, like how the dishwasher was loaded, or how they hung their towel up in the bathroom, or how they folded the laundry. The most petty things all of a sudden start to bother you. You're scrolling at night on each other's phone, different phones, devices, instead of gazing in each other's eyes and making eye contact and holding that eye contact and sharing your respective day with each other and feeling that connection between each other. The joy of just sharing how your day went, and the joy of noticing that they are genuinely interested in how your day went, and they're listening with interest, and you're listening with interest, and you're sharing back and forth, and time is going past. Or where you're just going through the daily motions of life. And you're saying that you're okay or you're fine, but deep down, there's something that's alive in your heart that you haven't been saying. You haven't been naming the real truth that's alive inside of your heart because you're just trying to keep the peace. You're tired of the conflict. You're tired of the ruptures. You're tired of what's been happening between you, and you decide to just keep the peace and not say anything. Or maybe you've been avoiding each other after different ruptures and conflicts in the name of keeping the peace. And noticing how this dynamic between you and your beloved it's not it. It's not it for you guys. And it starts to cause this silent resentment between the two of you that is so palpable you could literally cut it with a knife. Where it's shifted to, we're not naming the elephant in the room. We're not saying what it is, but we can feel it. We're walking past each other and not saying anything. And you know this is not the standard that you hold for yourself as a lover. And so you did what we do as high-performing, ambitious, driven individuals. You decide you're going to do something about it. Wrong pipe. And so you go to talk therapy. You start talking about your resentments and what you don't like and what's not going right, what you wish was going differently. Maybe the therapist starts asking about your relationship with your parents. You're just talking. And then you start having the hard conversations with your beloved, but it's not creating a breakthrough. You're still not feeling heard. You're still not feeling seen. You're still not feeling connected. And you even try couples counseling. And they give you these communication scripts. And they give you these communication tactics. And they do these role-playing exercises. And you feel this isn't it. This is not working. He's not changing. They're not changing. And so you come on these internet streets and you buy the courses because someone told you they had a step-by-step process. That stuff makes me tickle when I hear that, by the way. Because relationships are so complex and so nuanced. With human beings who have had different life experiences, different cultural backgrounds, different relational dynamics and experiences, there is no step-by-step to love. There is no step-by-step to the heart. There is no step-by-step to relationships. But that is what they will sell you on these internet streets and these courses. And so you even start watching YouTube videos because they tell you that you need to try to be more feminine. So you try to be more feminine to get your beloved to change. And you try on all these femininity approaches and tactics because you think, finally, this is going to work. Because somewhere inside, you know that polarity exists. You know that there is the feminine, the masculine, there is the yang and the yin and the yang. And you know that there is a way that they are to ebb and flow with each other. You know there's a way they are to be in relation with each other. And so there's partial truths to what they're saying. And you try it on because deep down inside, you want this to work. You have high standards and you're willing to do what it takes, just as you have high standards inside of your business or your career, and you're willing to do what it takes to grow and evolve and get better. And so you're thinking that these are the high standards, yet you're still gripping on so tightly to control. And that is why you're trying so hard to make your relationship better through all these ways and all these thinking. You're thinking that everything is going to be okay again if you just try all of these tactics and all these strategies and all these methods and tactics. And here's why it hasn't worked and why it won't. I tried all of that. Every single thing I just shared with you, I tried it. Every single one. I invested a lot of money. We invested a lot of money And I was so disappointed when I was trying all these things and it wasn't working. And I felt he wasn't changing. We're not changing. This isn't working. Nothing is changing. This is pointless. This doesn't even make sense. And even started to question our marriage, started to question our relationship. But somewhere inside, I could hear the Spirit of God telling me that, this is your person. This is your person. But the way you're going about this is not correct. The way you're going about this is not correct. And I was questioning if we were ever going to get back to us and the way that our relationship was. And I knew our relationship was capable of being, because we had a beautiful relationship where we enjoyed each other's company. We had so much fun. There was so much playfulness between us and so much pleasure and intimate heart to heart connection and intimacy and closeness and togetherness and just feeling deeply connected and in love. And so I wasn't making something up in my head. I knew that was who we were. And I was so hopeful and I was eager and I was anticipating that all these things I was trying, couples counseling and talk therapy and courses and life coaches and manifestation coaches and all this stuff. And I was approaching it just how I would my business, that you see a problem, you look for a solution, because that's who we are as high performers. That's who we are as people who are solution oriented. We see a problem, we want to fix it. We see something that is not working and we want to do something about it, because that's just who we are. And it wasn't until we thought that purchasing a brand new home was going to give us a fresh start that I realized that I had been going about this all wrong. And I told the mister that I can't move in to that home unless we bring a new marriage into the home with us. And it was in that moment I had recognized that the way I had always taught women for all the years of how they transform their relationship supernaturally was not through the way that I was going about it. This control, that was not it. I was trying to control through all these approaches and all these strategies. And that was not the way. And I knew deep down the way. But when our heart is hurting, and when we see a problem that we know gets to be resolved and solved and fixed, I remembered that the way that I had led women over the years was actually the way. And it was the way of the supernatural woman, which is what I've been sharing with you in the beginning, the work that I do. And it was that moment when I told the mister, we can't move in together. And that all of our attempts to fix our marriage through buying a new build home, it looked good on the surface. Like, oh yeah, of course, we'll have a fresh start. We'll be in a new environment. We'll be in a new home. Of course, that'll fix it. But the decision that transformed our marriage and made it better than ever, where it's even better than the beginning now, was the supernatural shift that changed absolutely everything between us. And it was one that did not require the mister to change first. Because for so long, I thought that he had to change first for our relationship to change. And oh, how wrong was I? Oh, how wrong was I? And so I'll be revealing the supernatural shift to you inside the Supernatural Standards 3-day Identity Immersion that begins March 31st. And thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate your presence. Thank you for being here. As I shared in the beginning of this conversation, this 3-day immersion, on day 1, we're going to talk about the woman, how you're showing up inside of your womanhood and where you're leaking your energy, and the supernatural shift that you get to create inside of your womanhood to experience overflow of energy. On day 2, we're going to talk about the lover and the supernatural shift that is going to transform your relationship without your beloved changing first. On day 3, we're going to talk about the leader, and I'm going to share the power leak that is holding you back from experiencing the prosperity and the impact that you know deep down this new season is available for you, and the supernatural shift that is going to help you to experience that. And then on the bonus day, I'm going to lead you through a somatic experience so that you can shift in real time. It's not just lip service. It's not just information. I don't do information inside of my work. You may hear me speak, you may hear words, but I do transformational work, and information is not enough to transform your life or your relationships or your leadership. What transform you on a cellular level, and on identity level, on a nervous system level, on an unconscious level, on a neurobiological level is integration. And that is what I am absolutely masterful at. And so on the bonus day, one individual is going to have an opportunity to experience live one-on-one coaching with me, where you can bring whatever you're wanting to transform to the space. And you must register for this to be eligible for that one-on-one coaching opportunity with me. So if you know this is for you, we begin March 31st. It is going to be a sacred, beautiful experience with a private Telegram space where I'm going to lead the transmissions in. And then on the bonus day, we'll join together on Zoom. You can either go to the link in my bio, or you can reach out to me for more information. I am so thrilled and excited for your presence being here today, and to witness your evolution inside of your life, inside of your love, inside of your leadership, where you're going to be not only she who has it all, but she who holds it all with support. She who doesn't hold it all alone. Thank you so much for being here, and I will chat with you very soon. Take care now. Oh, one more thing. I'm going to post a picture in my stories of the process of the new build. So make sure to go join me over in my stories so that you can see that. Okay. So it's so nice to hear and feel your presence. What a wonderful gift you are giving. Oh, thank you, Paul, for being here. I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful Vivi shared you with me, because your work is absolutely incredible. And I'm looking forward to being able to, get some things for you for my clients. So thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful Friday, everyone. Take care now.